Right. Hello, hello. Let's get this over here. Put this here. Uh, There. Sec. Sorry. So. All right. That was there. Okay. Good. Let's pull this up over there. All right. Whew. Sorry, craziness today. It's like hit the stream button and then kept the size to run through like a wrecking ball. All right. So ADP came in higher than expected. We were talking about that yesterday. We mentioned about 280 is what we were looking for. There was an adjustment down previously last time. Again, it was a monstrous number higher. And you can say, yes, it was lower. It was about 40,000 lower. But at the same time, it was about 80,000. Even if you add that 40 on there, still 80,000 difference. So um, definitely, again, not quite the, I don't know, how do you say it? Not quite the slowing of the job market, right? And we said that this is probably what we're going to see, right? Again, there was less job openings. It missed it by a little bit on the downside, and we were saying, "Hey, I wonder if it's going to roll over and be a higher number here because additional people were hired back." Um, Looks like that's kind of what happened, right? Looks like that's kind of what happened. So, yeah, excuse me. So that's our news for the morning. You can see looks like there's not much changed. Again, you're seeing dollar strength kind of roll back in, right here. You're seeing pound rolling back again. We had seen that kind of going a little bit high. We're actually looking for a little bit of a reversal in the euro, but the pound overall not doing great. And there's some different small things. Still getting a bunch of stuff out of the BOJ, and again that's pretty important. Um, Oh, here you go. Look, the U.S. stripped of AAA rating, Bitcoin now less volatile than stocks and gold. And actually, there was actually some Bitcoin news talking about how it's not a security, right? I think it's graduated to a level now where it's not considered a security. So, um, yeah, that's good for Bitcoin. I mean, it's great news for Bitcoin. But yeah, so yeah, stripped of our AAA rating. Yeah, we knew that was coming. Um, and then again, it's the BOE stuff, and that's why we're seeing the pound down. So I would say biggest mover on the board right now, percentage wise, although you might look at this and say, oh, 115. It's under an ATR where the euro pound on a percentage basis is actually a bit higher. So, yeah, it's, again, decent news morning, right? Decent news morning. I guess the only other thing that we saw, I guess Bank of America now jumped on board and agreed with the Fed that we're probably going to avoid a recession. But at the same time, there was other people out there last night that said, yeah, there's more recession coming. So yeah, kind of keeps going back and forth. Recession on, recession off, recession on, recession off, recession on, recession off. Um, so yeah, and in the Ukraine situation. They are holding peace talks, but Russia's not there, which I think is great. I'm like, how do you hold peace talks without Russia there? Um, like everybody can agree that, yep, this is what the peace would look like, but you need the two parties that are fighting to attend the peace talks. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I thought it was interesting. Yeah. So that's what we got for today. Tomorrow, all right. Tomorrow we got a lot of, and again, a lot of it is centered around the UK and seeing the UK, the pound weakness kind of come in today. Again, we'll get the report, the summary, the bank rate expected to go 0.7 or 0.25. Question is, will it be just like the Aussie that did not actually raise and the forecast was that they were? So knowing that's coming in and it's actually a 7 a.m. release, it's not like a 2 or 3 a.m., which is awesome. Knowing that it's a 7 a.m. release, I mean, again, we have 24 hours basically, or 22 hours, or whatever it is, till we get there. But seeing what happens from now till then is extremely important because, again, typically what we're seeing is if the forecast is 0.25 increase, if it comes in at 0.25, that should be a weak position, right? That should be a weak trade. Um, yeah, so you kind of have that, again, we're seeing it again. Are they going to magically raise it by zero point 0.5? No, I think that the likelihood that they don't do anything is probably higher than if they did a double. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And then obviously we have unemployment claims that'll kind of give us a little bit more. Again, we kind of know with the job openings, the job hirings, the unemployment claims. it's another component of that, but I don't think it's going to be as important. And then again, ISM services, which again expected to be lower, but not breaking that 50 mark. Remember, 50 is the magic number, so 53.1 from 53.9 doesn't really tell us a whole lot. Um, doesn't really tell us too much. So, um, yeah, yeah. So that's what we got. That's what we got. Hold on. We're gonna see what this is. Next move divides economist data points and mixed picture. Yeah. Oh, see, it's only a 62% chance, right? So it's the majority, right? But only 62. Hmm. Oh, the other 38% of market participants expect a second consecutive 50 basis point hike after the central bank surprised markets with a bumper increase in June. Huh? Look at that. So I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe they do 50-50. I don't know. That puts the carry trade back in order if they did that. Um hmm. I don't know. I feel like 0.25 is what's coming in. Maybe 38% believe it's going to be a 50, but I really feel like it's going to be just the 0.25. And then we take it short. So, um bad trader app launches alternative trader network. That sounds like a great story. I'll have to read that one later. So that's what we got. Let's drive over. VIX. VIX is up. And again, some of this could be, having to do with the rating. You can see it came right in at 3 o'clock this morning. Is that when they changed the rating? Yeah, 11 hours ago. Maybe. In this morning. So you see a little bit of a pop up in the VIX, right? 10%, 10.5% actually. Quite a jump. And you can see this is what we were dealing with before, kind of just flatlined right around that 14 to 13. And now all of a sudden we were back up and actually I guess at its peak. Wow, 16.25. Now it's pulled back down a little bit, but everything is in the negative right now. Looking at the dollar, you can see the dollar, look at that 102 that we talked about on Friday. We came back and we started playing with it, right? Monday, we hit it, we hit it, we hit it, we hit it. We kind of came down and all of a sudden, late last night, whoop, all the way back up again. And up 53 cents in the overnight. European market kind of came in right here. Yeah. Yeah, it's a big move. Big move. And again, they market the overall indices are not liking it. NQ down the most at 1.3. Russell right behind at 1, almost 1.1. And then even the, ES down at, 3/4. Pretty decent runs with, US dollar surging. Commodities all in the red. Crude. Thankfully, it's collapsing, but it came back up and grabbed that 82 again. We came back up. So in the actually not overnight, but like after market hours or whatever, we were up to 82.43, right? And thankfully, it's collapsing right now. Thank God, right? But we're saying thank God it's collapsing, but it's still at 81. So yeah, yeah, not the best, right? Not what we're looking for. Um, yeah. Not loving it. Now, natural gas, pretty exciting, below 250. We're at 249. That's awesome. Gold and silver both down. Silver is just over double what it should be, but we're kind of where we were yesterday. The 1945.87 and the 24.16. We're basically where we were yesterday, so not too much different. So yeah, that's where the push is. Yeah. Start off with the Aussie. Continue to deteriorate. Now, we did have a little bit of a Harry Potter run. We mentioned it yesterday morning. We were talking about, hey, listen, there was a base there. And guess what? If you didn't like the actual base there, right, you could have actually gotten it again. It came in late last night and we hit it. Now, we did have another little area this morning, and I marked this one off because when the alert came off, I came on and drew it. I actually drew it on my phone. You guys will be proud of me. The alert went off at, 2 o'clock? Yeah, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, I got up and said, there you go. And I threw the alert. I was like, okay, I got to make sure that I mark this off for chart school. Turned it black because we typically use red or green. I was like, I'm putting on there for black. And we talk about getting that level of basing and pulling back from it. Well, there's your level of basing. Did not breach. And I wanted to run this down right here so you guys can see it. Right there. And you can come up and 1 to 3 is right there. 3.01. So 8 for 25 in the other direction, still continuing to push a little bit farther. But we talk about this all the time. We're Harry Potters. If we do have some basing before the level, again, you can use that as a level to kind of pop up to. And that's exactly what happened. we had this kind of drop, this basing sideways, and then this punch down. And all of a sudden it breached. You're like, okay, give us the base. Well, it didn't really base here, but it did base here. It dropped and it kind of two candles and then went down again and then kind of came up. So you actually had a couple different areas to get in. You had a 5:30 reversal time, or you had 7:30 this morning. So either one of them really worked out just fine. But there you go, nice little kind of overnight. And again, we were looking for that Harry Potter. We were looking for some type of a basing pullback and drop continuation, and we got it. And you can see it's not really basing in that same level, but it used that level to grab more buyer or more sellers to accelerate to the downside. So not too bad, right? Not too bad. So that guy is out. That's kind of one of those like waking up in the green scenarios. So let's remove this one just to kind of clean it up. We talked about right now. Let's see. Let's do a hard. Bit of a hiccup back there. Probably. Oops, not that. I'm at a horizontal line. There we go. Let's just do a race. So I don't screw it all up. There. Let's take this one. Solid, and we'll change this one. There we go. This target is now hit. We are beyond this. Take fibs, run this down. That's what we have right now. So right now, we really don't have this and a whole lot stopping this one down to 65.31. Got some more room to run on that one, about another 30 pips to the downside. Obviously, coming in at this 10 o'clock window, though, it will always slow a little bit. So, yeah, got some more room to run. And again, with the dollar surging, we will find a top. There will be some profit taking, but I think we have the ability to run all the way down. So, nice little Harry Potter. It's out. Always hard to put a trade on when we just hit our profit target. Aussie yen. So, Aussie yen. So here's where we marked this level off yesterday. We said, hey, listen, this is a decent level, right? Decent level. You can see at 10 o'clock it came up and grabbed it. If you didn't take it, you did have the ability to take it again, coming back to that 23 level. And look at the deterioration. We talked about coming through. Well, look at that base right there. You're like, oh God, it's basing, it's basing, it's basing, it's basing. But we did have obviously the base higher. So it's the same exact trade. You could have grabbed the pullback on either one of them. It was late last night. And then look at the deterioration. We talked about coming down to the 50. And magically, that's where we're having problems at the bottom. But we overtook the entire green area. Nice run to the downside. Whether you took it through the bottom here was about 50 pips. The pullback, I mean, again, there was the pullback. We was like, oh God, this is so nice. Right? This is so nice. From that level, 130 pips. So, I mean, you could have ran it down to here. Right. But we knew we had the basing level right there. And actually, there would have been your confirmation touch right here. Right. And you can see it went into it. It was absolutely a touch. But nice little rundown. Again, this one was like, set a limit order. Right. Set a limit order. Yeah. Yeah. So, it didn't Harry Potter here, but again, when we start basing and there's a base right above it, you always got to look for it to pull back to be able to punch through, right? It's finding the reason it's basing is because it's finding buyers, finding buyers, finding buyers, and they finally pulled up again. They're looking for that next kind of made group to kind of lump on to kind of launch us to the downside. All right. So yeah, that's where we're at now. Another level of basing right here. I would say that watch out. There is another little Harry Potter trade sitting right in here, and we're basing off of it. I'll turn it orange so it does look a little bit different. Actually, you know what? I'll just take this off so I don't screw it all up here. Let's change this to yellow. Right in there. And it's similar. More Aussie weakness coming in. Again, a little bit of a racetrack trade in there. We're basing. We touched. Went a little bit deeper and based, and now we're forming that base. So the entry on this one may actually be sitting right here. Right? That may actually be the entry for a push back to the downside. Again, if it continues to rise, that's not the base level. But right now, if we push back down again, right, and we hit it again and we go a little bit deeper, that could be the entry that we pull the trigger on. Just like this, right? We came down, we based, we pulled back up again, we based, and then we come back up. Here, I'll just draw the pattern. Probably easier if I just do that, right? Right? Where we came down, well, actually, I guess we based, right? We based, we come down, we pull back up again, and then we go. It's right there. Okay. Right there. There's your base. That's what we're looking for. Okay. All right. What? Uh, Things are popping up there. Oh, stop. Sorry. Okay. Uh, hmm. Okay. Um, yeah. So that's again nothing really changes on that one. All right, so yesterday we talked about this 110. So we got a spike late last night at about 5:30. Like this level, it had been hit twice, and that was the only thing that was making us leery. Liked the zone a lot. It ended up punching through, and then we got a red, green, red here, and then it continued all the way back down to where I expected it to go. So unfortunately, this one little spike here kind of screwed this one up. Again, sometimes getting them when they come out of the zone is better than when they're in the zone. Again, the spike was here, the red, green, red came in right here, and then it used it right here. So we had the touches. It was a little 10 for 30. You may have gotten stopped out if you put a number one entry on it. And again, it happens sometimes. It ended up going where we thought it would go to. But sometimes, again, you put those risk protocols in. And unfortunately, this went up. But again, you still could have gotten back into the trade a second time when it came back down and then retouched. And it retouched here and it retouched here. So you had two different abilities to get in. Right now, it's sitting down here. And we mentioned we had another Harry Potter down here, right? This one actually, I don't know if we'll enter now. We'll see. It's a basing level. It's pretty decent. Nice little run off of it. Was touched here, touched here. So we are starting to get up there in as far as in the number of touches. Um, but we do have some more room to run. So right now, if we do turn in base, I'd be good with that one. I kind of want it to hit one more time, kind of come back in this level, and then push right back down again. But we're looking for a break of 109.43 down to 109.11. Again, it is a legitimate level. It has been confirmed. It has been touched again. And this is not actually the original. The original is back here. But the way that this kind of took off, it almost reestablished the level as new. And then again, small touch, small touch. If we can drive into there and start basing, right now, as far as finding a kind of a pullback level, right now maybe this is the base. I mean, I got to see. It's too hard to determine. Whoops, not that one. Maybe this will become the base right here. I don't know. But if we come in and start basing, then I would say, yep, we're good to go. But if it continues to push down again, probably not the base that we're looking for. So who knows? We start to base and then go down and not up, right? Because those are the two options. We base sideways, right? And then we either go up and then take it down, or we base and we go down and then we look for the up again, right? Are the two that we're looking for. So two different patterns, kind of waiting to see what it does right now. Without any news today, we shouldn't have any more major, you know, anything major, right? Um, there we go. All right. So yeah, yeah. So we'll see what it does in the next, I don't know, half hour, hour. But again, that's the this is a little 10 for 30 to the downside. But I want to see the entry in it. Euro pound. So Euro pound, you can see we smashed through, right? We got it. We came in, we based, we front run. We came back and grabbed the same level that we formed. We hit it again, pulled back again, hit it, fight, fight, fight. Came back and grabbed it again, and then took off. So again, this level got beaten to dirt. We're all the way up around the 50 right now. There is a level sitting right here. Like there is a level right there. Um, do I love this one? It's all right. I mean, obviously the 50's there. It's not the best base in the world. It did kind of pull out and leave that area pretty well, and we did kind of have a surge up from the 7:30 time frame up. So it is kind of at a reversal level. I mean, this surge, as big as it looks like it is, it's only about 33, 35 pips, so not the biggest surge. Um, any other chart, you're like, oh my god, that's like 80 pips, right? Nah, it's only about 35 pips, so it's not the biggest one, but it is at a place where we would see a reversal on this one. Um, I mean, it's there. And Now is when it should reverse back again. You know, I just I'm hesitant to draw this one just because again it is such a small. I mean, like the risk level on this one is 8, right? 1 to 3 only takes it to there. It's not like the UK has had tons of news, but we know what the data is coming, right? We know what the data is coming, so we should see pound strength roll back in. Um, is it the worst trade? No, it's not the worst, right? It's not the worst, but it's it's there, right? It's there. I don't know. It's up to you guys. I don't like trading this one as much. I like using this one as more of a proxy than anything else. But again, it makes sense where it is. Any other chart, I'd be like, yep, this is good. If this was also dollar, euro, dollar, I'd be like, yep, yep. So again, call it for what it's worth. Euro. So euro, we peaked a little bit higher. We were looking for this thing to come up to 157. Where we were yesterday morning. Let's see. Yesterday we were sitting here, and it just kind of didn't do anything. Right? We were sitting right there. It just kind of flatlined. Right? That's a long time to be sitting in a base, right? From 10:30 till I don't know midnight, we basically stay within that one little range. Now it is trying to come up, but you can see that it's coming up. It's probably again, if you run fibs on there, it's probably your 50, 61, 8 in there where we're kind of hitting right now. Looking like it wants to push down again. We knew we have a 23 in there. We talked about 156 being a good level. It didn't make it. It made it to 156.25, so it had extra room. Um, eh, eh. One of those ones. It's like, it's all right. Right? It's like, I think it's got to clear this level before I'm willing to take it short. We're literally sitting right in the middle, right? I think we hold 157.82, 156 down either way. Again, maybe some selling in there. It is at a time right now where again it should reverse. This is that reversal time, but eh, I don't know. I don't love it, but I do think it is time for it to reverse and push the downside. The problem is we need some help from the yen. So right in the middle, right, kind of in that no man's land. All right, pound dollar. All right, so yesterday we knew we had some, we could see chop, 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 right back and forth. Look, it came back down and ended up using that level over here that it was newly established. Yeah, we talked about yesterday having a target at 126.75. We're not far from it right now. You can see from where we are right now, it only needs to move about another 24 pips. It's got a 40 pip 4-hour ATR, so plenty of time. Eh, yeah, I don't really see much slowing this down. We can pull this off. I was like looking at the zones here. Pull that, pull that. We can run this down. It does make this a little interesting in there, though. Push that right there. I do like kind of how that kind of failed and then just accelerated off. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we wait. Trying to see if there was like any big reason. Yeah, I'm waiting for 126.75. Hmm. Probably, probably these are probably the two targets that we're looking for, right? So this one actually won't be surprised. It's a target first. Won't be surprised if this one actually takes a bounce off of it. This one I'm more looking for it to fail. Um, yeah, kind of looking more for the again first one. I think we probably get a bounce. I think we have the potential for a bounce off this. This one I think we go right through. Yeah, yeah. So look for a bounce again. I think this will eventually break. How much is that? It's about 50. It's only about 17. Um, yeah, yeah. I think that's what we got. So again, two targets if you are short already. Again, it's kind of extended at this point. Look to take some profit out of this one. You're about 90. If it comes down this level, you're at 115. So again, absolutely something you could have grabbed in the overnight. Um, look for a potential bounce when we finally get the break. Then the second one comes in, and I think that one does break. So again, with all the news we have coming, I think this one will definitely be in play in the next 24 hours. I really want to see what happens right now. From now till the pound interest rate rise, I think it's extremely important. Pound should come back into play. Again, all this dollar movement, we should be looking for a bounce right now, absolutely without a doubt, right? Strong dollar, weak pound. Pound is raising. Again, the pound's going to have to prepare for it so we can get short for tomorrow. So, yeah, it's kind of lining up on a news based level for us. Pound yen. Again, we were really looking for maybe one more bounce and go. It's looks just like the euro yen, right? We needed just a little bit more push. You can see we're not even up there. We're literally within the same range. And yeah, there's buyers here, but we finally have cut through. We should be able to push down again. Looks like we have a clear run right now down till at least this level. So another, I don't know, another 120 pips down is where this one can run. You can see here, look at all the base. Look, base, 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 and then boom, boom, touch, touch. Um, yeah, I mean, it's like, that's not a bad spot. Ugh. I don't know if we can get 78 pips down and then kind of overnight type stuff. I mean, maybe you know what? Maybe because it's a 7 a.m. release, right? Um, yeah, it is 7 a.m. So maybe European market. Maybe we can continue to drop. I don't know. It's a decent level. I mean, it is a decent level to take something off of. And again, I still have it a little bit big. I could shrink it if I needed to, but I'm okay with leaving it like that. It's just got a lot of room to run, right? I mean, again, uptrend. If we're in an uptrend setup scenario, we're pulling back for a level. Again, there's a level right there, right? Problem is, we just spent so much time up here, right? So much time. Yeah, this pound yen, I think, will be a very interesting play for tomorrow for the interest rate rise. I think this is a good one to play, but I got to see what it does today. Yeah, no way to predict which way it's going to go. Maybe it finds the bottom here and it resets itself high so we can get short tomorrow. Maybe it comes down and grabs it and then positions itself. Just a lot to get in right now. So dollar CAD. Well, talked about dollar CAD and where dollar CAD could go, and we mentioned where dollar CAD could go. And again, oil's technically down, but we're still high, right? But again, um, CAD weakness, little dollar strength rolling in. This is what we get. Now, could you have Harry Pottered off this one? Sure. It's not the cleanest of Harry Potters. It's a little ugly. And we talked about breaking through the top side. We mentioned, hey, listen, we really don't have much stopping us. 1 to 3 is right there. So you're already out of this dollar CAD trade. And you may say, well, we're Did it base? It did. It kind of based here in one in one green and then pulled back. But if you didn't take that, it did come back down here, probably on the 15, a little better. There you go. So you can see we had the basing in here. We broke, and it did come up and touch, right? But if you didn't like that touch, it came back up and then took 4 or 5 candles and then came down and touched and then went higher. So I'll move this out so you can see it. Right. So it did come up a 2 candle base, pull down 4 candle base. And again, I dropped to a 15. If you look at it on the 30, you can see kind of the same thing. Came up, the green is the base above the level, pulled back down. If you didn't like it, it took 3 more candles and then came back down and touched it and then took off. So you could have taken it. Oops, that's not what I wanted to move. I wanted to move this bad boy. You could have taken it there, or you could have taken it there. And again, took a little tiny bit of heat, but the end result was the same. It didn't matter either way. But we know that we have some smooth sailing all the way up to 133.69. So again, another trick. Whoops, I'll just delete that. Right. Another kind of pretty easy Harry Potter. We knew 133 was going to be a big deal, and with the base forming right here, we're like, yeah. And then when it started doing this, like, oh yeah, we got the pullback zone now. Again, just finished a little while ago, within the last half hour. At this point, you should be out. If you wanted to trail it, you could trail it. Right. So that's where we're at. When we get up to the 133, again, I'd like to see what it does in the next 24 hours. I don't think tomorrow's news will be as big, but I do think it will have some type of play. It will be involved a bit, right? It will be involved a bit. Yeah, that's where we are. Dollar Swiss. Okay. So dollar Swiss, we are looking for a bit of a reversal coming off. Now, I marked this one off. I was like, it's a 50. It's kind of a big level. It kind of did a weird base here. It's already kind of been up here twice. And it kind of got front run here. Yesterday morning it got front run and came back down again. It did hit again and then pushed lower and then came up again. You can see there's a hit there and a hit there. So it did a hit and another hit. But once this base formed, you're like, oh, crap, it's going to break. Right. I mean, even so, you got to count that. I mean, technically there's 4 hits there, but counting this one, you got this one here, this one here, this one here, and it actually pushed down. You're like, yeah, it's going to break. Why are the lights flickering? Okay. If I suddenly go out, I don't know, the lights are flickering a little bit. It's fine weather here, but I'm wondering if they're cleaning some of the trees down. We had some limbs come down. We had some crazy rain the other day. Typically when they flicker, it's because they're trying to fix something or whatever. But if I go out suddenly, you know why? It's because the lights are flickering, right? There we go. All right. So right now, dollar Swiss, again, we've broken through that level. We know above it, we do have a kind of a small level right here, and then we should be able to run back up until the 61.8 level. So that 61.8 level is sitting 88.44, so about 40 pips more. It's kind of sitting right there, right? That's what we're looking for. Was really hoping we get that last little push yesterday, and look, it did come back and grab it. So yeah, I think we're still good. Again, leaving this one, I'm gonna leave this one down here. Again, we have an alert, so just when it comes down here, but to make that drawing better, until we get up to 88.69, right? So next time we have a really a tested level, I think again the 61 could provide some short, but if not, we have an area right above it. I think I will leave that that way. Those are kind of the two that I think are again potential sell areas. I would like to see it run up to that. I think that would make it makes a lot of sense for me. I'm good with either of those two. So right now, got some more room to run. Wouldn't be surprised if we pull back a little bit. None of these levels in here am I very, very interested in taking for a long. So dollar yen. All right, so dollar yen. You can see yesterday kind of became the peak. Right around 1 o'clock, it kind of fizzled out, and if you use that fizzle, once we had a red, green, red, it came back and touched it, and also in a level right now. So again, it did come down and grab the 23. There was actually a level there, so this is something in the overnight you could have actually taken. I think we actually drew it as well, based off of where this kind of flash up and down peak was. Yeah, nice little kind of 23.6 pullback. It's going up. Again, this would have been a profit target if you entered here at the 23.6 with this basing level. It was about a 4:30 in the morning trade, 5:30 reversal, so not the time that everybody would be entering trades. But sorry, I had to reset the thing for Kit. Not the ideal time, right? But overall, not really the worst, right? Not really the worst. Um, I don't know. I think there is a risk of this breaking and going higher. Um, but again, we have broken through the first set of confirmations. We still got more room to run. And being 10:30, I'm wondering if we're going to start running out of steam. Um, yeah. Hmm. See, we have this is what we're dealing with now. Take this guy off. This is what we're playing with right here. So looks like no sellers until 144. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. The base right there. So I was wondering. It's attempting to go through the top of this one. Trying to figure out if I want to take this one higher. It's not the best base. I think this one goes higher. I think it finally is going to get enough. Again, this forming the base here. It's root shouldn't affect it too much. Hmm. Yeah, I think it breaks, but I'd like to say. I mean, if this the what I'm like debating here is see this pullback on the 15, it looks fine. We're always talking about, listen, when we break a level, we have the ability to base. If it goes forward, you pull back and you take it, or if there's a base form prior to it, it's the pullback down is not really a base. You can say, oh, look at that, it's basing. Kind of basing, not really the best of basing. Um, so we punch through. Could you take it? Not the best. Like Asher would say, it's good, but it's not the best. It's not really a base. I know it's a red candle, but it's basically the open and close were the same. So it's like, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think it goes higher. I don't think you use this pullback. I think you wait for something better in there. I think you show a little bit of restraint with everything we have going on. We got a couple other setups in there. We got some training. We got no additional news. I think we wait. I just think it's just not high enough level. Wish it was, but I just don't think it is. Um, yeah, yeah, it's okay. It's funny. Crypto being considered more stable and everything else, it's still really not doing much. It's still holding at 29,000. I figured actually we'd have more of a bump today, but I guess with the dollar up, it's obviously down right now. Um, it's kind of surprising. Kind of surprising, right? Um, that it's not got more movement, right? It was considered deemed somewhat more legit and yet didn't move. It's like whoops. Right, oil. So now's the big question for oil. We've had a huge drop in the overnight. Let's get the oil inventory report. API oil inventory report. There we go. Investing Pro. No, I do not need that. Oof. Oof. So that's probably, this is kind of interesting. So the forecast for August 1st, right? Well, last night, supposed to be down zero point 0.9. This also says it's supposed to be down zero point 0.9. and the API figure came in as a minus 15. So that's a big jump. Is oil now set again a little bit too early to start dropping down in the minute time frame? Is oil pulling back to an area of buyer here is down at 830? Is this getting ready to explode higher? Right, and go back up to 8180. Right, go back up to 8180. So there right now, not everybody looks at that. Not everybody is looking at the API oil inventory report because again, it's not necessarily legit. It is, but it's not. It's the industry specific report. If it's the data comes in faulty, it doesn't. There is no repercussions if it comes in faulty, so it's not necessarily a big deal. Wow, that minus 15 though could really that could throw a that could throw some juiciness in, right? That could throw some juiciness. Man, I'm wondering if that's a long now. It's trying. It's not stabilizing yet though. We'll give it another like 5 minutes. We'll look at it once we get to like 10, 20-ish. We'll take a look at that one. But yeah, that I'll tell you that this will be really exciting. If this is what we come in, if we have a negative 5 million down draw, yeah. Saudi Arabia is being accused of, keeping oil prices high to secretly help fund. I love it. That was the news this morning, right? That Saudi Arabia is purposely keeping the prices high so they could secretly help fund Russia. It's like, they don't care about that. Saudi Arabia makes their own money. They're trying to pad their own pockets. Right? They're not in this for Russia. They're in this for themselves. But it was an interesting article. So yeah, so we'll see. Again, 80.36 is an interesting spot. I think again with that news expected to be as big as it is, very strong pullback, quick, right? I don't know. Maybe who knows? Maybe it comes in as a surplus. Maybe now that the funny grass is legal in other places, maybe I don't know. Maybe that's what they're smoking. So we'll see. But again, this one we got news coming in just in a little bit. Natural gas continued to deteriorate, and again. Second morning, I went outside this morning to throw the trash out, and I was like, oh my God, it's cooler outside than in the house. Let's open the windows again. Yesterday, I think we made it to noon to where we're like, yeah, it's probably about the same temp. Let's just not, we'll leave it open, but we'll just, keep the pollen and the bugs out. So, yeah, second morning in a row. And again, there you go. Natural gas falls as northern states expected to see cooler weather through mid-August. I love it. I've been waiting for fall. So again, it's actually, I was like, oh, this is nice. This is like a little tiny bit of a chill. Like not cold, but like, yeah, this is good stuff. So I liked it. Now where natural gas is right now, again, we have buyers down here. If you looked up back to the left, we were back down here in the middle of middle of July, right? So we've been back there kind of recently. It hasn't been super, super far, and that became the next bottom for kind of the acceleration. And that was all heat-based. The heat-based, and we mentioned once the heat-based element was gone, we started to see it deteriorate, and it has. It pushed all the way back down again. If we do find the same buyers right now, I will say watch out for the level up here at 257. Again, a lot of basing backstop by the 50. I think if we get this a little bit farther down, I think that's probably down in here. Probably maybe the, 246-ish range, probably where we see a bit of a pullback to it. So, crude today will obviously, oil definitely helps a little bit, right? We'll see where that one drive this one. And again, the inventory for this is tomorrow. But again, nice pullback. I'm glad that it's under 250. It's fluctuating right there. It's about to tick over that 250 mark as I just said that. There you go, 250 flat. Would like to see this one continue to deteriorate lower. I think it's justified. All the reasons why all speculators were involved. It was high. Now it's pulling back. I think we're in the right spot. There's a fruit fly in here. I don't know how a fruit fly got in here, but all right. So that's where we're at. Gold. Look at gold dropping. And again, you see gold dropping very, very quickly. It's also associated with the dollar also accelerating. And again, some of this could be absolutely news-based, right? Seeing that news, you may say, well, wait a second. The news didn't come out at 7:30, right? The news came out at 8:15. Yes, that's when we got the news. Does that mean that's when it actually came out? No. Could people have seen it at 8 o'clock? Sure. I mean, here's the 8 o'clock window. It was 8:15. So again, this is a 30-minute chart. So yes, it is accelerated past. We talked yesterday about getting down to 1933. you can see there's a little bit of a gap up in the overnight. And then again, all it did was raise it higher, grab the basing, right here, right? Here was the base, right there. And that's what we ran into. Gapped up, pulled back in. Was it a 50? It probably was a 50. Mm, Backstop by the 50. Confirmation, touch, straight to downside. So again, yesterday we talked about 1933.80. Looks like we're well on our way. That is your target to the downside. Not much to do. Is it a bounce level? I don't think so. I don't really think so. Silver 23.80. Look at that. And we got the little bit of a push. We were looking actually for one more bounce before collapsing. Right, 1, 2, 3. We were looking for, and I guess actually 4 came in right there at 11 o'clock. So yeah, so we pulled this around. So it kind of gave us this. Look, it kind of gave us a red pullback quickly. So I guess I gave it too much credit. Instead of being that high, it should have been that high, right? So I gave it a little bit too much credit, and it did. It went back up, found the basing on this one, and then boom, collapsed all the way back to the downside. I believe we drew this one yesterday. Yeah, 5:30, 10. Yep. And again, punched through the 24 mark. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, this is 5. So it broke, right? We're looking for a little bit more basing in there. I think this one is good. Right now, we know that we don't really have much until the 78.6 down here at 23.57. That would be a heck of a run for today. But right now, that's where the target was originally put. And it is also down here at the 78.6. We could run this one a little bit farther down. It doesn't necessarily. Right now, it's kind of, the 50 is kind of in play up top. We're going to leave it right there. You can see the 50 is kind of, it's at a level now, right? If this is with the turning point, but I think we need to go lower. I think at a safe point, again, if you are short silver, 23.56 is where you want to take that one out. Okay. Let's see. Has it started to stabilize? No. Looks like it's already starting to move. Ooh, 5 minute. It's already moving a lot. Yeah, look at no signs of slowing. Right? No signs of slowing yet. No signs of slowing yet. So maybe we can get one more push down in the next 7 minutes. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, it's kind of lined up for that, but maybe. Yeah, maybe. So not quite there yet. Not marinated yet, but yeah, enough of this volatility coming in. Yeah, I feel like that data is going to be some shocker today. So we'll see. Let's see what we got with Apple. Yeah, funny. Apple filled that gap and then got crushed this morning. Look at that. We gapped down. It filled the gap and then just got smashed right to where the gap originally went, which happens to be a basic level over here. Tesla, same thing. Gap down, game touched the gap and then has pushed right back down again. So not what you want. Wow, we're up 11 point, almost 12, right? 11.92 up at 12. Swiss rank eases ahead of Swiss inflation report. Mm. Go look at it. They're taking this one down early. It's funny. It's yellow, but they're like, "Yep, we're gonna go early today. Going early today." Um, Still surging. Still surging. Mm. Russell's like, "Please no, please no." Yeah. Wall Street stumbles after Fitch downgrade. It's not the first time we've ever been in this downgrade before. So, but yeah, this is called irresponsible spending. So, yep. This is the second major Standard Poor's in 2000 to strip the country of its AAA rating. Yep. Yeah, but this is actually, he's not wrong. It's all relative in spite of us. It's still the cleanest dirty shirt in the hamper. And this is limiting the negative fallout from the fish down. Yeah. And like I said, we mentioned this before with with the countries trying to replace the US dollar. As this rating comes down, it makes it a little bit easier, right? From a double A plus, right? From AAA. So it's not bad, but it's less than what it was. If we get removed as a world currency, this drops down to I think before when we drop it, I think it goes to a B, a triple B or something like that, or an A minus or something like that. Whatever it is, I forget what the rating is. But if we actually get removed as a world currency, based off the debt to credit ratio, this actually drops down to where most nations would not want to necessarily invest. Again, we're in all kinds of trouble if it actually happens. I know Buffett's like, oh, it's not going to happen for the least 50 years. I think Warren's smoking some stuff. I don't think we're going to last 50 years as the world currency. Um, so yeah, we'll see. I don't think it's happening. So, all right, let's go back. How the heck do I get back? There we go. All right, I'll go back to oil real quick. We got 4 minutes. God, it's surging. It is surging. Oh man, it's already starting to pop. Look at it. It's not even slowing down. Not even slowing down. A little bit of base there, but oof, a red, green, red, kind of getting front run off that level. Yeah, we did it from that. I wonder if it's going off that. I wonder if it's going off that right there. Oh, that is. Oh, oh, a little front run action there. And now I'm really excited. We got 4 minutes. All right, I can't wait for that one. All right, let's look again. VIX is up, dollar surging. Yes, let's see. Drop it down to a 15 minutes. See if there's anything at the open today. No. Unfortunately not. So again, there's a bottom here, but nothing in the overnight. There was a short. There was a short sitting right there if we got up there, but again, it couldn't get back up there. 9:15. 9:15 is right here. There would have been actually a short up there if we could have got there. Again, we're finding the same buyers that we ran into at 4 o'clock in the morning. Again, this is an area that we have marked off in the past. Not the best, but we know it was there. Went a little bit lower. Looks like our next major area could be there. We'll see what the crude news is. So, but yeah, as far as opening print goes, we were smashed right over here. There's nothing in there, no confirmation, no basing level. There was up top. If it would have rallied up, then I would have said, yeah, if we got a nice little pop at the open, there was a short there. Wasn't there today. And look at yesterday. Look at yesterday. Did it make 1 to 3? Yeah, it did make 1 to 3 in that first candle. So, and then just flatlined. Did nothing. Look how inside that was. NQ. What do we got here? NQ. Maybe. Nope. Right here. There was a base. Again, 130. We touched. Look, basing level right there. We did touch. Missed it at 8:45. And then again, 9:30 was sitting right here. So, I mean, the trade was in early. Yeah, it did come back up to a level. We got a red, green, red right here. And then, boom, it pushed. But unfortunately, it was a little bit deep. A little bit deep. So, a little bit deep. YM, did we get anything? Ooh, YM had the pop. Did it have the pop? Did it grab it? Unfortunately, it went a little bit higher. So, it was kind of its own retest. Right? There's your level of basing. Like there's your first candle that kind of popped out. It did touch it at 9:30. So not necessarily an opening print, but yes, it would have been a trade. It surged back up into an area overnight basing. It was an area that wasn't basing, but not really the best because this did go higher. So it kind of cleared it as a new level. You could have taken this trade. Could have taken the trade. Doesn't exactly meet all the opening print what we're looking for, but this could have been just a regular standard trade. It's probably pretty close to being out, not out yet. 1 to 3. There's 3.02, so actually it is. It just went past. So you could have taken that one. Again, true opening print. Yes, it was a 9:30 base trade, but it was not a confirmed level in the overnight. It was more just a kind of pullback level from where we were, from the high from yesterday. And actually, you know what? This one went past. Let's see. Was there fib support in this one from high to low? The answer is yes. If you take yesterday's high to the overnight low and you pull back up again, there was a level of basing. 50 was there, 61.8 was backstopping on the other side. It was basing. So, yeah, you could have taken that at the open. I'm sure Jack probably got into that one. That was probably a Jack based trade just from yesterday from high to low, 50%. And he understands where the basing is. So, probably got that one. Getting a little bit of risk down here at the bottom. All right, let's see. Give us the pending. Give us the juiciness. God, if it comes in at 0.9, I'm going to. This is like a keyboard throwing moment. Come on. We know you got it. The market's already moved. We've already seen it. Oh! As Bubba would say, ow. 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 It was expected to be negative. It was more than the negative 15. They were calling for 15.4. 17. Let's see. What did oil do? There you go. There you go. I think it goes more than that. This is the initial surge. It probably pulls back a little bit, but yeah, I think it goes all the way back up to 82 today. So yeah, look at that. Look at that little front run action there. It's already up what? Almost a dollar instantaneously. So, yeah. Yeah. Nice little long. Look at that. Tell me the market's not manipulated. Let's shoot this all the way down to give a monstrous miss. So, fun, fun. Um, so again, that was little YM. Let's see what we got. Russell. No, unfortunately, Russell's not. 930 is right there. No. It was pushing up. This one kind of the same thing. You can see once it pushed through here, the next level of basing was sitting right there. And there was a confirmation off of it. So 845 is when the confirmation could have came in. Again, you guys could have absolutely taken this trade. It was a confirmed level in the overnight. The opening print was here. So it was an early one, but basing confirmation pull back down, and then it rallied back up in time for 9. And then 930 was over here. So you could have traded this one. There's 265. There's 3. Is it true opening print? No. It went about an hour early, but it did meet. Overnight base, again, formed at, I guess it left right around 2 o'clock and then came back and touched and pulled away. So again, kind of besides the timing, because again, 9 o'clock or 930 is sitting right here. It was already pretty much, actually, it was in that candle, 930 candle is where it hit full profit. So just got to be aware of that. All right, with that, let's go ahead and do our drawing for the day. Ernest, Debbie, Will, and Neuro all in. Neuro going for 3. Ernest trying to step in with his 10 to stop the monster this week. Right, trying to stop the monster. We'll see how it works. I'll stop at 11:30, and we'll go from there. God, that was big, man. Minus 17. Can't wait till that, All I got to say is the all narrative, the Anti-Inflation Act. We're going to keep oil low to stifle Russia's war effort. Not working. Not working. I feel like we should reevaluate what we're doing. All right, there we go. 11:30. All right, winner of today's drawing is, man, Marina's not here again today. She was the big stopper last week. All right, winner of today's drawing is Debbie. Wait, Debbie, did you buy another ticket right at the end there? Yes, Debbie bought a ticket right at the end. Debbie's like, I'm gonna try to do an Ernest. I'm gonna sneak in there at the end. I'm gonna buy one right at the very, very end. And look at that. That's all she needed. Debbie takes it. Stops Neuro. Stops Ernest. Right? Wait. Hey, Neuro, I just want to point out. Debbie's like, oh, that is funny. Debbie is laughing at your pain. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, just saying. Debbie's like, wow, look at that. Ernest, she ate up, Debbie just chewed up 180 pip chips from 2 other participants and stole it with using 10. So Debbie took it for the day. All right, with that, I'm out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I will see you tomorrow morning. And again, tomorrow morning looks to be pretty juicy as well. Not as quite as juicy as that oil thing, but again, CPI coming in, obviously early, expected to be negative. We're already hearing about how it's cooling off with inflation. And then bam, this one right here, I think is going to be a great short trade for the pound. So with that, hopefully you guys are all in profit tomorrow morning first thing. I'll see you then. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a good one.